TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Who smartened you up as far as the etiquette and said, maybe took you on the side and said, this is what you need to do to get over with the other people in the locker room?
Probably Miss Elizabeth.
She did? Okay.
Yeah, I think her, yeah.
Would you consider her your mentor in the wrestling world as far as female talent goes? Or
I think Madusa, too. Madusa traveled with us a lot, too. Boy, she's tough, too.
Oh, yeah.
Madusa's tough.
I know her very well.
Remember we went on the WCW bike ride?
Yes.
I remember I bitched about that. I was like, oh, Steve, I don't want to go. That's going to be boring. I had the best, that was the most fun. For all the 3 days going to Sturgis.
Hog Wild.
Yeah.
Right.
And they taped, it's so fun. I still remember Madusa with her leather on and her boobs hanging out, bending over this bike, and just guys were about to have a wreck passing her. And, and Steve was on his Harley, and I can't believe we didn't have a wreck because he'd go about 100, and I had like a little bitty German helmet on.
Right.
I thought it was going to protect me. And then I remember he had a gun, and we were out in somewhere in Colorado where we were, because I think we left from there and went down to Denver on the bikes.
Right.
And then he was just shooting out in the field. Driving the bike like 80 miles an hour, shooting his gun out in the field. I don't know if we shot a cow or what. I don't know.
Sounds like fun. What was Madusa like outside the ring?
No, she was nice too. And they just accepted me for being who I, was at the time, an NFL wife coming into the business. And
good. As far as Madusa, now she owns a dog farm. Did you still?
No.
Yeah, she raises wolves and stuff. Wolves. Yeah.
No way.
Down in Florida.
I saw her back. I was in Vegas back in I think 2005 or 2004.
She's doing monster trucks, I believe, too.
Yeah, she was doing that because I saw her in the restaurant, and we were like, I was like, hey, and so we were talking, and I knew she was doing the monster trucks then.
Right.
But I didn't know she was raising wolves.
Yeah, she's doing all that down in Florida. I was going to ask you, just to still stay in contact with anybody in the business?
Well, the ones that are still alive.
Right.
I mean, it's
the girls. I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. There's not very many of us that's still alive from that time. I mean,
it's crazy to think about.
I talked to Miss Elizabeth and woman, and I mean, I really.
Now, with the other girls in the locker room, did you ever sense any jealousy early on from any of the girls when you first, came?
Yeah, I always felt, especially when you're coming from the NFL, I was just used to people being jealous because. You're an NFL wife, and they think at first you don't belong in this world.
What girls in particular, I guess, did you sense jealousy from? A lot of people said that Kimberly Page was always jealous of other girls' success. Did you see that as well, or?
No, I always got along, but I have a good knack of getting along with especially strong women. I prefer strong women over weak women, and all the women in wrestling are strong, so I really got along with them. It was the NFL wives that were weak I didn't get along with. Those, ugh.
Right. As far as like the wrestling people in the locker room, what girls did you sense any jealousy from any of the girls at all?
No. I think at first they knew how to take me with all of them, and then they learned my personality and they learned I'm pretty tough. And in this world, that the wrestling, you have to show that you're tough. You're one of them, and then you get respected that way.
How bad were you hit on? I guess by maybe wrestling fans after you first started going on TV.
Well, as Queen Debra, though, I was really hated.
Right.
Oh, man, I had to get used to that. People spitting on me and, pouring beer on me. And that was, like, weird. But then at first, I was going, oh, my gosh, I'm getting booed. And then Eric's like, no, Debra, that's good.
Right.
And then the boys were going, that's great, Debra. You get some good heat.
Right.
I'm like, yay, okay. And then I remember one time in Chicago, we walked out in the Four Horsemen. The crowd... They were booing me so loud. You couldn't even, it was unbelievable. It was so loud, which, that's great.
Right.
But then, I think I like being the baby face better.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the baby face better because then it seems like it's easier. Because to be a heel, I really worked out just to irritate people.
Right.
To get the boos. But then as a baby face, it sort of comes easier.
Were you ever overwhelmed at all as far as the fan reaction in the beginning?
No. Because I had been around the NFL, and I remember seeing just the way the crowds would react to the NFL, and I was the most visible bear wife in Chicago. So I was used to being on TV and interviewed, and that was just normal to me.
How did your life change once you started getting some notoriety in wrestling?
It didn't really change. I was used to, it wasn't like I'd never been on TV, because I was always on TV with NFL Today and all that with Steve, and no, it didn't really. It was just, it felt good because I got to perform and I got to do the theatrical part that I was trained to do from New York.
Who actually taught you to take bumps in the ring? Who would you say was your mentor for that?
You know, it was interesting when I was at WWE. Who helped me a lot was China.
Really?
No one ever would ever, because they would not allow me to take real bumps because they said Debra was a cat fighter. So I guess men are turned on by women fighting in a skirt and doing that bit too. So, but I would practice with China, and she was really good to work because she was very gentle. Like, she wouldn't just throw me. I mean, she was good.
So in WCW, nobody like Madusa or Sherry said, let's get in here and
No, because my
your character never really took it.
I relied upon my vocal, my interviews, and just my attitude.
Right. As far as Steve 1 goes, was he ever abusive at all as a husband, or was he?
No, Steve 1. Oh, that's so funny. Steve 1, Steve 2.
Right.
Steve 1, he was a sweetheart. He was just a big old teddy bear.
Okay.
He could just rip someone's head off too. He was so strong.
Right. What led you guys separating, if you don't mind me asking?
No, I don't mind. No. And I'm sure it's happened to a lot of marriages, and I think with his retirement from the NFL, and then I had a lot of sickness. A lot of people probably didn't know this, like during the period of the WCW, my mother fell ill, and my daddy fell ill, and my brother died, and then my brother died, and then a few months later my dad died, and then my mom died, and so all that was happening during the WCW days, and we should have had some therapy.
Right, a lot of depression and all that anxiety.
Yeah, it was just weird. It was just like everyone was dying, and then both of my parents were sick. They were in nursing homes. I had to put them both in nursing homes. So I had one out by me, and then one in Alabama, and I was working on TV, and Steve's having his own drama. Poor thing, retiring from football, so it was just one of those.
Stress.
Yeah.
Gotcha. A lot of guys look at Mongo as a goof. Did you ever sense that?
No. Well, yeah. I think he played it off really well. Like you guys would have loved it. He's like the life of the party.
Right.
And he is so smart and intelligent. And that's what people didn't know about him. Highly. I forgot what his IQ is. He is a very, very intelligent man.
Do you guys remain friends to this day, or?
No. We got divorced, and he got remarried in 2000, and now he has a little baby girl, so I'm happy for him.
Right.
And no, I haven't spoken with him since 98, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it hard to travel so closely and work so closely with him on the road? Did that hamper your relationship at all, or?
No, we were used to being together.
Okay.
I think what hampered it is just all that death and sickness in my family.
Right. Do you ever think that maybe he resented you at some point, or no?
No, he was never like that.
Okay.
He was the kind of guy to where he was not jealous at all.
Wow. He knew he had you.
Yeah, he knew, and he was, I could wear whatever I wanted to, and he would help me to go to another level. He was very helpful.